Over the last 6 weeks, we've been consolidating within the crypto market. A lot of people are calling for further downside price action on Bitcoin and also Ethereum and the altcoins. The analysis that I'm going to share with you is hopefully going to change your perspective. The first thing you want to consider is, do we ever get a bear market when people are calling for a bear market? Similarly, do we ever get a bull market when people are calling for a bull market? The advice that I can give you down here is don't follow the herd. What we can see currently right now is we are currently in consolidation. We're accumulating orders, bullish and bearish. And what we expect is after consolidation is a manipulation. Now, there's a reason why we may not get the manipulation, and I'll show you that on Ethereum in a second. Now, if we get the manipulation, this is your sign to buy. Not buy Bitcoin. I'm talking about spot bags. You want to look at your altcoins and you want to buy the altcoins because they're likely going to be in extreme drawdown depending on where you've bought, but they're also likely going to be at the cheapest prices you'll buy. So therefore, if you're in a very, very large drawdown and you've bought at a very cheap price now, when price goes back up, you will make your returns much more quicker. After the manipulation, we expect distribution. We may not get the manipulation, therefore, we can consider this as the manipulation. We have the consolidation down here, and then we'll get the move to the upside down here. Going on the monthly time frame, we can see the monthly time frame is currently printing an inside candle. And normally an inside candle, specifically as a doji, is signs of indecision. However, this move that we had down here, as we can see over the last month, a lot of traders shitted themselves because they are extremely bearish and they are closing their positions, capitulating because they don't understand what's currently going on. For me, what I can see is stability in the market. And although we may get one more move to the downside and even take out this sell side liquidity at around 74, 75K, we can still get that move to the upside and further continuation. Maybe not on BTC further continuation, but 100% on Ethereum. The daily time frame is very, very choppy and messy. One thing we can see is if we draw on this trendline liquidity, we have finally officially broken out of this trend line, and we want to look for a retest of this trend line. Essentially, I usually don't use trendline liquidity and retest, but we can consider this as support and resistance. I'm going to remove this because I don't normally use it, but what we can see is a lot of accumulation, and it's very easy to trade this market, and that's what I've been doing regardless of if we're going bullish or bearish. We can see we're in consolidation. And what you want to do is you want to wait for the extreme points of this consolidation. And then you will look to either buy or sell. As price approached 90K, I was expecting the liquidity to get grabbed at 91K, which we didn't get, but I still shorted the market. I closed my position. I'm currently in a long right now at around 86,500. And I will hold that position if we go back up. My stop loss is already at break even. I don't care if it gets stopped out for break even. We will likely come back down, tap into the 61.8, or come into the extreme of this at around 84K. I don't think this low is a real low. I think it's a fake low, and I would like to see the liquidity get grabbed down here. We have a lot of liquidity resting at around 80K, and we also have a lot of liquidity resting at 90K as well, 91K. So we want to see that liquidity get grabbed. On the 4 hour, it's extremely choppy again, and there's not really much else that I can show you guys. But if we're looking to the upside down here, we can consider these moves down here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections off the 61.8, close above the 61.8. We can see how strong this level is. And we've rejected, and we're likely going to close above again. Now, if price does come back down and close below, I'm looking around the 78.6 region, and I'll take longs from there for a high risk setup. If we continue coming down and I get stopped out, that's more than okay for me. I will look to take further positions to the downside around these regions down here. So we're looking around 83 to 84K. I will look for long positions because essentially what I want to try doing is capturing the move when we will get the move to the upside. Now going on to Ethereum, what we can see on Ethereum is it's been very, very strong. We've also got an inside candle down here, likely going to close as a doji. And for me, again, this is stability. This is an indecision. Although the candlestick itself, a doji, represents indecision, look how aggressive we sold off down here. Look how aggressive we sold off down here. Then we had this move, which represents indecision. And then we had the move to the upside. What I'm expecting is something similar to this. What I wanted to see was price to first take out the lows down here. That's one thing we haven't yet had. Therefore, come January, we may get that sweep first and then the continuation to the upside. But we can see how strong the 61.8 level around 2.7K is holding up on Ethereum right now, which is great. Downside targets on Ethereum. I want to look around 2.5K first, and then I told you just above 2K, 2.1K is where I'm looking. On the weekly time frame, we've been consolidating. We've got this huge wick to the upside. Ethereum's a bit more difficult to trade right now. I'd recommend for you to focus on BTC for your futures trade and your high risk positions. But on Ethereum, what we can see is if I just remove this fib, we've got A, B, C, rejection of the 61.8, and we yet haven't filled the target levels down here. If I remove this and look to the downside, if we come back up on Ethereum, we come into the regions of 3.2K, there's a likely chance, depending on how we close and react from this level, we will come and take out these lows down here. So we may get the move to the upside, to the downside, take out these lows, and then continue moving to the upside. That's what I'm expecting on Ethereum. Go and watch my other videos where I explain my overall targets on Ethereum, on BTC, and why I believe that we are looking to the upside. We're going to expect a lot of volatility because we have a monthly close, a 6-month close, and also a 12-month close over the next couple of days. So we will likely see a lot of manipulation and a lot of volatility. What I'd like to see is to begin the month of January, a move to the downside. That move to the downside, which essentially solidifies people's views on the market is bearish, and capture them on the wrong side of the trade. And then we'll get the move to the upside. And what happens down here is euphoria, denial, people regretting to hold their positions to the upside. No further updates. What I want to see, if we get the move to the downside, to buy your spot bags. Look at the coins that you think hold a lot of value. Are we at all-time lows? Do they have a strong community? Are they strong coins? And buy those coins. Although you may be in a 30, 40, 50% drawdown, if you buy at a lower price and price goes back up, your drawdown will become profitable very, very quickly because you bought at a lower price. Now, I'll keep you guys updated, but there's not much else to update you on right now because price has just been consolidating sideways over the last 6 weeks. The only advice that I can give you guys on BTC is take the positions, high risk positions, go on the daily time frame and also lower time frames, and you can trade these areas down here. Between 91K, you want to short, and below the regions of around 86K is where you want to long. As soon as price moves away from your entry, move your stop loss to break even. As we move to the other extreme of the consolidation, take your profit. We don't know when or where price is going to go, although we're expecting the move to the downside and then the move back up. This may not happen. So if you want to hold the position to the upside, you're more than happy to do that, but move your stop loss to break even. Now, if you like these types of videos, I trade ICT. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.